finished off the Lakers in 5 and got 5 days rest. Warriors went 7 with the Rockets and finished up on Sunday, and maybe that explains this. The Warriors plus 160 to win the series per ESPN bet. First time in 28 playoff series under Steve Kerr that the Warriors are underdogs. Steph Curry got your underdog right here. Warriors up 5 in the second quarter, 13 points, 5 of 9 shooting, 3 for 6 from 3 for Curry, but it was a short night. Grabbing at his hamstring, makes the floater to put the Warriors up 7, but he immediately motions to the bench that he needs to come out. He would head immediately to the locker room, would not return with a left hamstring strain. More on that coming up later. Draymond Green would pick up the scoring in Curry's absence. Green started knocking down threes, hit 4 of them in the first half, put the Warriors up 14 with that one, and then they try to run him off the line, and he gets to the rim. 16 points and a half. Warriors up 13 at the break. Minnesota season low 31 points in the first half. 9 minutes left in the third. Anthony Edwards no good. Warriors push it. Buddy Hield for 3. Got it. Hield 5 for 8 from 3. The Warriors up 20. Next Timberwolves possession. Nas Reed finally gets one to go for Minnesota. They were 0 for 16 from 3 before that make, but they're still down 17. Third quarter, Jimmy Butler banks in a prayer. 18 of 42 for Golden State from 3. Butler with 20 points. Warriors up 16. 3.5 minutes left in the third. Hield. How about 3 more? The hero of Game 7 against Houston doing it again. Warriors up 19. Under 8.5 left to go now in regulation. Timberwolves down 15. Edwards put him on the line as well. Timberwolves down 12 after the free throw. 7.5 minutes to go. Edwards again. Timberwolves down 10. 3 minutes left in the fourth. Timberwolves down 12. Edwards. First 3 of the game for him. In fact, his only one. He was 1 for 5 from 3, 9 for 22 from the floor. 23 points as Minnesota shot 40%. But Hield answers with a 3 of his own. He had 24. Warriors win it 99-88. They're 21-1 in post-game series after winning Game 1 under Steve Kerr.
I'm Batman today. I saved the day. He's still Robin.
All right, well, I'm still Robin, yes. And Steph's still Batman. And Buttered is still who he is.
I mean, Buttered.
Any general update on Steph? Any prognosis at all?
Just day to day. He'll get an MRI tomorrow. Well, he's obviously crushed, but you know, the guys picked him up and played a great game, and obviously we're all, you know, concerned about Steph, but it's part of the game. You just guys get hurt and you move on. Our guys did a great job of moving on and getting a great win.
Obviously, things get tougher if we got to go forward without Steph, but it's the same mission. You know, we're trying to keep this thing going, win as many games as we can. So, you know, I'm not going to let that reality set in right now. We'll start figuring that out tomorrow. I'm going to enjoy this win tonight, rest up, recover, and we'll get back to the drawing board. Like I said earlier, I think we got the best coaching staff in the NBA. They'll put us in the position to be successful, and it's on us to go out there and perform.
Playoffs sometimes create unexpected heroes, and Buddy Hield has been one so far. He's made 14 three-pointers over his last 2 games. He's the 5th player in NBA postseason history with at least 14 made three-pointers in a 2-game span, and he's the 3rd different Warrior to do it. I think you know the other 2, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. Now, let's listen to Chris Finch after his team lost at home in Game 1.
What is there to talk about? I mean, you're the leader of the team, and you got to come out and set the tone, you know, in all ways that happens. And if your shot's not going, like, you still have to carry the energy.
Coach was saying that he relies on you to set the tone from the start, and he didn't quite see that. Do you feel like you were off at all just in that department, or just kind of the way that you started the game?
Nah. I feel like I played great defense. I just couldn't do nothing on offense, so, yeah.
You guys going 12 for 76 over the last 2 games is the worst three-point shooting in the history of the NBA playoffs. And for a team that was 4th in three-point percentage and 5th, I think, three-pointers made.
12 for 70, God.
Like, how did you even make sense of it?
You know, that's how it go. You know what I'm saying? You have stretches where you shoot the ball really, really well, and you have stretches where you shoot the ball really, really bad. You just hope the good outweigh the bad. And I'm not going to say it's going bad for us right now. We just didn't shoot it well tonight. I'm not really worried about the last series or whatever that was. That was a month ago, if you ask me. But, yeah, tonight we didn't shoot the ball well, but tonight is over. So next game we'll shoot the ball really well.
It's bad when you hear it. It's even worse when you see it on paper. Not just Edwards, the entire team struggling from the outside. Again, 12 for 76 on three-pointers over the last two games. Worst by any team in NBA postseason history. When you factor in their volume of shots, maybe it means they're due. Game 2 is Thursday. All right, let's talk about it with Chiney Ogwumike, who joins us here in studio. Okay, so Chris Finch critical of his star player, Anthony Edwards, after that nightmare start for Minnesota. What did you see going on with them?
First of all, Ant can handle some tough love, so I'm not mad at it.
Okay.
But this has been a cautionary tale for a lot of teams that have lost, so far in the second round. You live by the three, sometimes you die by the three. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 threes. That's all the Timberwolves made from the three-point line. 17%. They were settling at times. They lost their aggression because when you shoot those threes, sometimes you miss. You give your opponents a shorter court, and guess what? The Warriors, their offense was clicking on so many different cylinders. So for Ant, I expect a bigger response, but more importantly, I really think we see a lot of firepower from a lot of these stars, whether it was Steph in his short term or Draymond Green, him having a huge game. I knew that Draymond Green was going to show up defensively, but I did not have an offensive game from Draymond on my bingo card. Knocking down 4 threes himself, that shows you how competitive they are, how bad these teams want to win. And I think he's just showing that Ant, we need more from you even when the ball is not going in.
All right, so Steph Curry with the hamstring, but Steve Kerr has the luxury of one in his pocket now. Doesn't have to rush him back, but he's got a game plan without him for a full game now. What does that look like for each team?
This is why you put all the chips in the middle of the table and you got Jimmy Butler. To start the season, we've been talking about we have to extend Steph Curry's prime. Jimmy Butler is a capable scorer. He is also someone that holds his teammates accountable. People forget. It was when he was like 28 or 29. That's when he was a T-Wolf. He's not that same guy. Back then, when he was a T-Wolf, he wanted to be the top dog. Now he's all about sharing that winning feeling. Do you see Buddy Hield? That's because Jimmy is speaking life into him. So even though you may not have Steph Curry, you still have a decent squad with tremendous experience. For the Minnesota Timberwolves, this is your opportunity to strike. You had the 6th best defense in the regular season, and now without Steph Curry, you have to look around and say, the greatest shooter of all time is not on the floor. We should be able to compete. We can't play Rudy off the floor. Rudy has to be an anchor, getting rebounds and providing us some defensive energy. But still, you can never count Golden State out.
All right, Game 2 Thursday. Game 2 Thursday for the Pacers and Cavaliers, too, back in Indiana. Cleveland.
Flow with Wendy on this one because I think Minnesota having home court advantage, you need to protect your home turf. You certainly don't need to be falling down based off of all the things that you just said, Perk. Because of Steph Curry's hand injury, because of the pelvic injury that Jimmy Butler had, because Draymond Green is undersized and what have you. When you look at the Minnesota Timberwolves coming into this series, they should be the favorites, considering their size and their defensive prowess, considering Jaden McDaniels and the way he's been able to defend against Steph Curry.